as an engineer, you can't sort of hide and say you don't know anything about what is happening in the greater economy of the country. The trade balances, how much of exports we do, how much of imports are coming into the country, and what are the trade balances? But is it a trade balance is negative or positive? What are our exports? How much do we earn from tourism? Then what are the credit lines for the new projects that we had taken? And what is the return from them? And what is the loan that we have to pay? What is the with regard to GDP? What percentage of GDP is our loan? So all those things, as engineers, we should know. Then only that we know how to sort of gauge our future as well as future of the country and future at your workplace. Then also same time, as engineers, the very important aspect is the health and safety of uh, the subordinates as well as the machinery. Is very Safety of machinery is very very important that we have to look into. Then I actually have not put even environmentalists are important professional that we have to speak with regard to green environment, which has to be adopted in our projects and at our workplaces. Then again, the marketability of products. Now, for instance, you are doing a production, you are on a production line, and if, there's no point doing a lot of units, producing a lot of units if the marketability is not there for these units. I mean, then of course you'll be just you'll be actually importing your raw materials, but you're not selling the products. So because first of all, you have to see about the marketability of product. Definitely, this marketability will be not done by you, but it will be done by another person who is another professional. But you have to have some sort of a dialogue with him to see how the marketability of products are going on. And sometimes, if he says the product doesn't have a quality, then you as engineer should be able to improve the quality. So that kind of thing has to be done by the engineer. Then same time, especially these days, considering these days, the wastage of resources should be minimized. Now, for instance, in fact, although I'm retired now. In fact, one day recently I gave a call to the railway and I told them that especially there are in railway where the rails are connected together, there are joints. Now those joints are very vulnerable with the passage of trains. They go down. When they go down, what happens is when the wheel rolls over, it hammers on the other rail. But while hammering on the other rail, that rail gets wasted unnecessarily, and it becomes some sort of a permanent joint which is wasted or which is gone down. So I told that now, especially today the rails are very very expensive. Steel is very very expensive. I think ton of steel is about 550,000 now. So a ton of rail will be very much more than that. uh, uh, because rail is rolled steel. So I think that will be somewhere around 800,000. So these all, if we have to throw away before its lifespan is over, it is all your money and my money that is going for this kind of thing. And how we pay is through taxes or direct taxes or indirect taxes by way of increase in the price of sugar, increase in the price of medicines, increase in the price of chilies, and increase in the price of rice. And by that, so you must understand some that as engineers we must see that we somehow safeguard especially the imported resources as well as the local resources, imported resources very much, so that we use less dollars in replacing them. So because of that reason, I mean, that's the engineer's prime duty is to stop wastage. And yeah, then again the sustainability. Now, supposing industry has to sustain, I mean, the wastage should be minimized. There should be marketability of the product should be such should be same as what you produce or little, you can produce little more than what is really required, but for a buffer stock. But yet then, for industry must go in a sustainable manner. You have to ensure that the industry go on a sustainable manner. Then maintenance of equipment. Now, normally a civil engineer will not know how to maintain a maintenance of equipment, but civil engineer must actually know where when equipment should be serviced, when it should be when the oil should be changed, and so forth. So those are issues that civil engineer must look into it. Then same time, a mechanical engineer must know that the proper foundation is done for the equipment. I mean, although it's a civil engineer's responsibility, but mechanical engineer must know. We must not sort of differentiate ourselves and say, look here, that is not my work of looking after the equipment. But it is, as an engineer, we should be example to other subordinates. Say, look here, why didn't you change this oil at this particular hours after operating hours? I mean, these are issues that must come. These are all coming into ethics. These all come into ethics because without this kind of thing, I mean, you cannot be a good engineer. You cannot be an engineer who is, dedicated and committed to the country. So because that reason, all these are very, very essential. And now, next is the stature of a professional engineer. Now, first of all, you have to assert yourself as an engineer. You can't say you're a PN or whatever it is as an engineer. You're an engineer. But actually, I think I have missed one particular slide which I will try to. Particular slide, I think I did is one of the important slide before I actually come on to this slide. Now, most of these engineers, they think, the workplace is also like a university, especially in very big organizations where most of your batchmates go to work at the same organization. They think the university is also, it's like the university. So I think, there are other subordinates, there are other peers, there are other professionals who are working in the workplace. So you have to say that, you have to forget about the university life when you go to the workplace, and you have to be a professional. Now, this is a thing that is not happening in Sri Lanka. Then also you should address your colleagues by name and seniors by using Mr., Mrs. or engineer. Now, I know that most of the people, when you go to work, also you address them as Ayya, Malli, this and that. Now, this is a very good example. I mean, one day there was a conference where a foreigner came for this conference, and there were one of these people were addressing the other person as Ayya. And they were having a discussion. Then when the foreigner came, foreigner had to speak, foreigner also addressed the other person as Ayya. So this is a thing that has to stop. This Ayya Malli business is a good thing for the university, but not at the workplace. At the workplace, you will have to call them the seniors. You have to can call them Mr., Mrs., if it's a lady, or an engineer, by engineer. Your peers and colleagues also, you can either call them by name, that's no issue, but we have to call them with respect. And it's always better to avoid the word called matang in a workplace. Now, these are also, you are trying to demean the engineering profession by if you don't call in these particular ways, if you don't call the ways I told you, you are going to demean the engineering profession. Then assert yourself as a professional. Then language and very, very important at a workplace. You must not be a laughing stock at the workplace, especially the people won't laugh in front of you, they will laugh behind you. And the dignity of how you speak and how you behave is very, very important. Then partaking in meals. I have seen in university, 3 or 4 people get together and eat one particular lunch packet. I'm telling you this very openly. But that should not be done in the workplace. But it is happening in some workplaces. I'm very sorry to say it's happening in some workplaces. That should not be allowed. Should never happen, my dear. So you should see that you take your own meals and have your own meals. And this kind of thing, if it's going to happen, people will not respect you. Your subordinates will not respect you. Your people, even other professions won't respect you. Right now, so because of that reason, please don't have meals from one meal packet. 3 or 4 people don't get together and have, like in the university. University is a different culture. You can have it. There's no issue. But when you go to workplace, see that you have your own meals. You have your own individual packet of meat. Right. Then also, especially when it comes to ladies, give priority, give the first place to ladies, especially when it comes to a seating place or when you go into an elevator or getting into elevator. Give them recognition, give them respect, and put ladies in front. And also, I must tell you now, especially you people will be definitely going abroad. So because that reason, you have to understand that you must be able to use your fork and spoon, various things in the proper manner in the table, and the table manners are very, very important. Because now when you go abroad, I mean, you should not sort of be some sort of demean the profession or demean Sri Lanka. Right. So because that is very important. I mean, I don't know whether university is teaching this kind of thing, but it's a very important aspect where the table manners are concerned. Right. So thank you very much. Now again, sorry, I have the last slide to tell you. I think yes. Yeah. So again, with regard to asserting yourself as an engineer, then actually. One more thing I must tell you now with regard to the tsunami, which I completed in 57 days, and I ran the train service in 57 days. In fact, I got a award from Institution of Engineers for that is the Engineering Excellence Award. I received the Engineering Excellence Award from Institute of Engineers for in 2008 for after completing this massive task. In 2005 February, that is when the tsunami occurred in 2004 December, ran the first train after repairing the entire coastline railway in 57 days. That is all, not a single foreigner was involved, all local people. I got the help of State Development and Construction Corporation and State Engineering Corporation and completed the work. And this is because I had the contacts with other engineers in those areas. I was always having contact with people in the water board, people in the municipality, people in the Sri Lanka Telecom. That's how Engineer Tilak knows me, and his seniors know me. So because of that reason, that is very important for you to rise in your professional career. Everything your department or your enterprise cannot do. So there are certain things you have to get the help of other departments and other institutions, for which you must have the correct contact. Now, in fact, Engineer Tilak Silva helped me in actually doing the ticketing system. I put the first computerized ticketing system in 2003 for Colombo Candy intercity train with a advertisement on the reverse of the ticket. So he was able to help me in getting this ticketing done for at the fourth station and at Candy station. It was an online system. So, I mean, this is the way, I mean, we should work. I mean, we should be committed. We should not try to do the same thing over and over again. We should try to do something new to the department, to the country. So this is why this is how we should act as engineers. Then
Engineer Piyadisila, when you are putting the fibers, when the fiber break is there, so Sri Lanka Telecom, we prepared those things free of charge. Now
exactly.
also, when we want to cross the railway road to put our cable, then the CGR supported to us. So this is the way mutually we are getting benefited.
So there you are. These this is a thing where, it's a give and take policy. I mean, and also the goodwill will develop. Most important thing is the goodwill. Now, with that thing, I mean, I trusted engineer Tilak Silva. He trusted me, and that's how still we are trusting each other. So this is exact in the profession. He's about 12 years younger to me. But yet then, he actually rallied down me. Engineer, when I wanted something, when I requested him, he really rallied down me and did this in no time. So that is how we should, and this is how what I expect from you people also. In the role of development, engineers have to take a leading role, whatever the profession. I mean, otherwise the country's development is actually dependent on you. So you have to take a leading role in the development. Then one thing is, I must tell you, at the tsunami, when the minister went to open the track after with the first train, he gave a speech, say sort of in a way that he was the main person to do this work. But in my speech later on, I told I thank without I didn't thank the minister. I thank all the subordinates who work for me, and I sort of gave him an indication that it is not. They don't possess the technical knowledge, so there's no reason for us to compliment them. I must tell you, there's no reason for us to compliment them. But today, I see in the social media, some people even worshipping. When the president came to open the expressway, Kurnagar Rabukan expressway, some of the engineers came to worship. Then, then one thing is for you to practice this ethics. One thing I'll tell you is you have to be very, very honest and your hands to be clean. If your hands are not clean, definitely you cannot practice ethics because the politicians will be on top of you. He will say, look here, if you don't do this, I'm going to report you because you are being dishonest. So he or the politicians will tell like that. So other thing is we should be able to always speak with conscious. Our conscious will tell you exactly what is correct and what is wrong, and our confidence in a particular subject. So these are certain things that you will have to practice and see that your hands are clean. That's the most important thing, right? So nobody was able, no politician was able to overcome. One day, I was called to the parliamentary consultative committee, where I was told, where the official people are sitting on one side, the Minister of Transport is steering the thing. Then there are other the departmental heads are there. The one of the official MPs asked the minister, sir, in 2003, that particular year, 2003, you have not given any capital expenditure to the railway. How are they going to buy the sleepers and rails and metal for the track? GMR will answer that question. I was the GMR, General Manager Railways. Can you explain, Mr. Priyal Silva, what is happening? I told yes, what the official MP says is correct. No have been given as capital expenditure to purchase rails and sleepers. My minister was stunned. But I told the truth. I told the truth. So then what the minister was saying, I am not worried about this capital, no. There's some money given for recurrent expenditure, no. So that recurrent expenditures, they have to pay the salaries and the overtime, and maybe to purchase some diesel and all that. So the minister didn't know the difference between the capital and the recurrent. So there is no way that you have to respect. There's no need to give overdue respect to them. You can respect the policy. I don't say not to respect them. Respect, speak to them in a respectful way. But when it comes to wrong instructions, there's no necessity to respect them. Right? You have to tell them in short what has to be told. Right. Then, so if you practice ethics, you will be doing a great obligation to the profession as well as future generation of professional engineers. So with this, I will conclude my speech. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope all of you will be one day great engineers who will be practicing engineers. Not only that, you will be some sort of example to other professions by practicing engineers, as well as you will be an example to the future generation of engineers also. Thank you very much.